And welcome back to Wrestle AM. Welcome back here to part two. Wait a minute. Dave, I'm sorry. I've just got an email from the Raw general manager, and I quote, "You assholes, why the fuck would you tell the goddamn internet about my plan to ruin TNA? You assholes, do not expect a check in your mailbox this weekend. In fact, if you two assholes fuck up this big again, then," and this is on all caps, "you're fired." Oh, okay. Well, Dave, I guess we can't do that anymore. Okay. Well, let's see here. What's going on here in the wrestling world? A big shocker here. Luna Vachon found dead at the age of 48. Taking everybody in the wrestling world by shock. Now, at the time that we're recording this show, they had just completed an autopsy. The results have not yet been released, but still shocking nonetheless. A lot of people remember Luna as probably one of the... She was actually a very good women's wrestler, had a very high-profile feud with Sable back in the late 90s. She wrestled for the Women's Championship, but was never able to actually win it. She was the niece of Mad Dog Vachon. She's definitely going to be missed. And Dave, what do you make of all this?
It's sad on many levels. I think she was probably one of the original great women's wrestlers. She definitely should have won the title. I've got to work with her and got to meet her, and just her telling the story about what happened the night Sable won the title. It's just heartbreaking, and I'm so lucky to have got to meet her. She was probably the sweetest, genuine, good person I've ever met. The first time I got to meet her was at an FIP event, and this is early FIP. This is FIP before they banned me from the building, but that's another story for another day.
Oh.
But, I used to run the back and help Sal and stuff back in the day, and she was just so kind and nice. And, when I first met her, just because it is the wrestling business, I was like, nah, she can't be this kind. She just knows that I'm friends with the promoter. I'm the promoter's right hand, I'd say slacky, but I don't know if that's the correct word. But I'm just helping out a guy, and she was just so nice to me. So the first time I met her, I was like, nah, there's no way she could be this nice. But I've met her so many times since, and she's just so nice. And anyone that's ever met her, in a wrestling business, if you're in the back for more than 10 seconds, you'll find out one thing. Everyone hates everyone. No one likes anyone. They can be best friends. They can be brothers. They can be sisters. They'll throw each other under the bus in a heartbeat. All you have to say is, well, I'm thinking about only booking less people. Or you'll say something, what do you think about this person? And they'll just say mean stuff. But I never heard anyone say anything bad about Luna. And she was always so nice. And nice to everyone. I have to admit, in my times, and I kind of regret this, but it's just the reality. I'm going to tell the truth. There's times where when I was super busy running shows, I met someone, I didn't really give a fuck about them. And I regret it because you're like, man, that's kind of a dick move, but it's just the truth. I'm like, holy shit, I got to run this show. Fuck off. Stop talking to me. Here, if I can talk to some guy just pulled out of the crowd, And I'd be friendly to him, but she would be so kind and nice and talk to everyone. And the good thing is, I don't know if it's a good thing, but I got to work with a lot of legends, and sometimes when a legend gets in the ring, you're always afraid of what's going to happen. Because when I was running ACW at the time, we were kind of a hardcore federation, ECW wannabe, and when Legends went out, you didn't know what they were going to get, because a lot of our fans were just like, kill each other, ah! So, sometimes a Legend would go out there and put on something, and they would just be booed, they'd put an arm on an arm lock, and they'd be, boo, get the fuck out of here. Well, I just remember Luna was a manager one time, and I was just like, she's so sweet. I wonder if she still has that toughness about her. So, and she has a spot where she's supposed to hit someone, and oh boy, did she clean his clock. She just grabbed, I believe it was a Singapore cane, And I just remember going, she's so nice. I hope she could still really nail this guy. And it was probably the shot of the night. She was like, crack! You could hear it throughout the whole effing building. People were just like, holy shit, did that just happen? And it was such a huge pop. So even though she was probably the nicest person you could ever meet, when it got time to get in that ring, she was tough as hell. And it's just sad. It's sad that, someone that great has to pass away. It's kind of, the douchebags will live on forever, but the nice people that everyone loves are the ones that are taken too soon. So I'm really sad about this, and I got to work with her and meet her, and I'm just glad I did, because probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in wrestling. And I really mean that. Like, it's to the point where when you first meet, like, there's some nice people. Like, Luna is definitely up there. Hector Guerrero. And that's sad. That's sad. You can actually hear me thinking. So far, I've listed off 2 people. But where they don't talk bad about anyone and love everyone. And you're just like, man, in a business full of douchebags and deviants and scumbags, you're just like, I can't believe you can still be a good person. And really, when you run as many shows and see backstage, you start to think like that. And it doesn't matter at what level. Go behind the scenes at FCW and ask any wrestler what they think of another wrestler. Go ask an FCW wrestler what they think of Sheamus working out with Triple H. Are you going to get an earful? But not her. She was a sweetheart. She was such a kind and gentle person outside the ring. Inside the ring, probably one of the toughest SOBs out there. Can you think of anyone tougher? And it's just sad that she didn't win the title.
Definitely sad. Definitely going to be missed. Interesting what she had some personal tragedies. Had a house burned down earlier, and I don't know if any of this stuff is related, but definitely going to be missed in the world of professional wrestling. Of course, she was preceded in death. Here we've actually got some more wrestlers passed away. We got Tough Tony Bourne, passed away at the age of 83. He was the father of Matt Bourne, otherwise known as Doink the Clown, the original Doink, the good one. And then General Skandar Akbar passed away. He was big all throughout Texas, the UWF, that whole thing, definitely going to be missed. But the one that was really a big shocker to all of us is former WWE superstar Lance Cade passed away at the age of 29. And let me tell you something, Dave, that is way too fucking young to die, man. Too fucking young.
And when you hear shit like that, they're just pro wrestlers. This ain't a war. This ain't infantry. This, they're just professional wrestlers. They shouldn't be dying as fast as this. But 29, man, that's effing crazy.
He'd been through some controversy where he was there. He was getting a push. He was with Chris Jericho. He was actually, not his tag team partner, but kind of like his lackey. But
the way the storyline was, if I remember correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that he is HBK student, and Jericho took over as teaching, saying that HBK, I don't know, this ain't exact, but he's a better teacher than HBK, and it kind of like it was a dig at HBK, and there was supposed to be a feud where Jericho was a better teacher than HBK. Ain't it like something like that went down?
Yeah, something like that, but his WWE career came to a sudden stop when he had an incident on an airplane where he had a seizure. Turns out he'd taken too many pills beforehand, so they let him go. Well, he had actually been hired, oh my God, almost a year ago. He got rehired by WWE, but he was never used. I don't even know if he even was in FCW. But they wound up never using him, and they released him again. And he was a little bitter over some things, saying that people had been, kept on, for doing worse, and pulled the whole woe was me. But in the end, he did the right thing. He took responsibility for, everything that he did.
Yeah.
And was getting his life back in order. But unfortunately, we're still looking to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The only thing I wanted to say is it's got to be hard. Because WWE isn't a straight shooting company. They have double, triple, quadruple standards for people. And I just imagine if there's any job that it has been your dream job and you're the top, it doesn't matter what it is, but we'll say wrestling. You make it to WWE, it's always been your dream, and you do good, and you mess up, and you're man enough to say, hey, I messed up, but then they still let you go, but you see people that did just the same as you, or worse, still living your dream. I think it's only human nature to be bitter. How the fuck are you not bitter? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hold that against them. I just think WWE bruised that because you see so many examples of why this guy and not another guy type situations.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but I feel like we have to address this. You know, how Linda McMahon's her statements on
Jesus.
on Lance K. Basically, oh, well, WWE had nothing to do with this. You know, yeah, he used to work for us, but we got rid of him and all that. And then it was like, well, who is he? Well, I may have met him once. I mean, my God.
Now my question is, and this blows my fucking mind away, that she's such a heartless piece of shit. Because you know what? I fell for her. I fell for TNA's tricks. I fell for Obama's tricks. I'm a bit of a sucker. And when she says, fuck government and fuck big corporations, I get all fucking tingly inside. I'm like, fuck yeah, corporations suck. Fucking government, yeah, let's go, Linda. Tell them. But I fell for it. No, she's a heartless fucking bitch just like the goddamn rest of them. It's absolutely crazy. And she spends, how many money, do you know the exact amount of money? I know millions upon millions of dollars. So large amounts of money. Do you know how much money she spent on her campaign, or a rough estimate?
They're saying now that she spent more money on like balloons and stickers and stuff like that than her opponent spent on like advertising, you know, for like TV and radio ads.
All right, so we'll say a couple million, and that's a very, very nice way of saying it. But she spent so much fucking money, and she surrounded herself with people. Okay, fuck the fact that she's an evil fucking robot. No one thought this was a bad idea. This wasn't a slip of the tongue. This was a goddamn statement. There was no one in this office that had made millions of dollars. Politics, you gotta be a fucking retard. Like, you weren't in the room. Like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, fuck yeah, we're gonna Linda McMahon, high five, we're gonna become senators, kings, queens, whatever the fuck we're running for. This is going down. And she's like, oh shit, one of my employees died. I know, I'll say we don't fucking know anything about him. They're probably getting paid millions, if not thousands of dollars to be a think tank. No one out there goes, oh, this might be a bad idea. Maybe we should word this different. I mean, the way she worded it, I just can't believe that passed. It just shows me, like, no matter how much money you spend, and no matter how many fucking smart people, and I'm using quotation marks on the radio, so that shows you how smart I am. No matter how many smart people you're surrounded by. No, what the fuck, man? I'm pretty sure if I paid Boom Boom $10 to read over a speech or a statement, you'd be like, yo, this is kind of stupid. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but this statement right down here, pretty fucking stupid. Who the fuck? What the fuck, man? No one stepped up to tell her this was a dumb fucking idea? What a... Dude, and the thing is, I don't vote because I fucking hate politics, hate the government, but that's another fucking show for another day. Outside of me hating everything, I think I would vote for her if I ever did vote, because I fucking buy that fucking fuck the government, fuck the corporations bullshit. But after this, she would have lost my vote. I'd just be like, you're a heartless bitch. No wonder why you're getting into politics. Unbelievable. Is there any way, and we only got a couple seconds, so wrap it up, Boom Boom. Is there any way she could have done this worse? Maybe piss on the guy's grave? I don't know.
I don't know, called him a fucking whore or something, and, you know, pissed on him, and slapped his fucking dad, and, like... You know,
we'll be back.